But first, this just coming into the Situation Room. Let's go to Port-au-Prince. Anderson Cooper is standing by. Anderson, I take it there's an indication that another survivor may have been pulled out of the rubble on this, the 15th day of the after the earthquake.
Well, we should be cautious about this. A 16-year-old girl was pulled out of rubble by French rescue workers today. She's now at a hospital, but there's no way of knowing at this point whether or not she's from the original earthquake or perhaps from one of these aftershocks. A lot of people, go into rubble searching for things, and in the event of an aftershock, rubble may fall on them and they could get trapped. I talked to one rescuer yesterday who said it is highly unlikely, virtually impossible, that somebody, unless they had a large store of food or water with them in the rubble, could survive this long alive underneath the rubble. That being said, somebody was pulled out today, and we have people on the scene. We're going to try to investigate exactly when she may have been trapped in that rubble. But it is a sign of just that there are still operations going on. There are still rescue crews out there. Though much of this has turned to a recovery operation, and for the 4,500 to 5,000 missing Americans in Haiti, for their loved ones, that is a somber reality that they are just now coming to grips with. The search for missing Americans goes on, but in the rubble of the Montana Hotel, it gets grimmer by the hour.
Our intent and our mission is to get everyone, and that's what I told the parents when they were here, is to get everyone that we can.
And at this point, it's not search and rescue, but it's not. Is it recovery?
Well, recovery is a word, it's a definition. I mean, that's what we're doing, is trying to recover bodies with respect and dignity and honor. We are trying to recover not just the people that are here, the bodies, but recover some sense of closure for the parents and the people and the loved ones and the family that are out there.
It's believed there are 50 to 60 people still buried here, as many as 17 Americans among them. Veronique Weeder from Miami is waiting to get word about her 7-year-old son, Aile. How are you holding up?
I have my moments of my breaking down, and I have my moments that I have to be strong and still keep going in. Because we want to have either closure, know what happened, or there's still, the glimpse of hope is little, but still have some kind of hope, I guess, until we, find him.
So there's a part of you which is holding on to hope?
Yes.
The names of those missing, the lost, are written on 2 small boards, a flickering candle, a constant memorial. The Montana Hotel is one of the most searched sites in Port-au-Prince, and there's a good chance that many of those who died there their bodies will at least be recovered. In other parts of Port-au-Prince, however, the dead still trapped in rubble may never be found. The wreckage like this is so dense and so dangerous to search that it's just going to be bulldozed. And the terrible truth is that anyone whose body is still inside this kind of rubble, they're simply going to be discarded along with the debris. Some Americans who've died have already disappeared. The morning after the quake, we were shown the passport of an American woman. This man has lost 4 family members. He just showed me his wife's body, which is under a shroud, and he's now worried about another family member who's an American. His name is Rose Marguerite Olivier, and he believes she is trapped inside that building as well, and he's pretty sure she's dead. We contacted the State Department and told them of her death and her location, but no one ever came to collect the body. Days later, her husband found her corpse in the rubble. He shows me a picture of her remains on his cell phone. After finding her, he says, he briefly left to get a coffin. A Haitian government bulldozer arrived and dumped her body in the back of a truck. They threw her out, he says. I couldn't throw out my wife. She was an American citizen. So you don't know where she's buried now? No, I don't know, he says. I don't know. It's very difficult. Not only did the U.S. government do nothing to retrieve this American citizen's body, they told our office in Washington that she'd been buried in a coffin in a cemetery. We went to the U.S. Embassy for answers. Do you know why we would have been told by the State Department in stateside that this particular woman was put into a coffin and buried in a cemetery?
I don't know why. I don't know where that information came from. From our perspective here, we don't know the disposition of the remains. The presumption of the family, as I understand it, is that the body was taken to a mass grave. That would seem consistent with the way things are done now.
The mass graves are just outside Port-au-Prince. 2 weeks after the quake, we thought we'd find them cleaned up, covered over. But it's much worse than that. The dead are still just dumped on the ground. Little effort, it seems, has been made to actually bury them. American or Haitian or whatever the nationality, this is not how anyone expects their dead to be treated. This is not how anyone wants their loved one's life to end. And Wolf, I've seen a lot of mass graves and a lot of different disasters. I've never seen anything as horrific as what we saw in that piece of that mass grave. The fact that the Haitian government has done nothing to actually really bury these people is simply shocking. They went to the trouble of picking up the bodies. They did that in an organized manner. They have a state-run company that has been collected the bodies very efficiently, has dumped them out there. They even went to the trouble of blocking the access road to make it difficult for us to go out to the site or for anyone to go out to the site and see the conditions. They could have taken the extra effort, the extra 10 minutes, and put some dirt on their own people. They have not done that at this point, Will.
The heartbreaking element of all of this, Anderson, is so many people are never going to know for sure with certainty what happened to their loved one because they're just dumping these bodies. This may be a naive question, but was there no way they could stack these bodies somewhere, catalog them, and let people at some point come out and bury their loved ones in a decent way?
Well, what happened in Sri Lanka in the wake of the tsunami was that they photographed the bodies, and at least they posted the photographs at morgues, and that way loved ones could come and have the potential to identify the dead, though it was very difficult. They need to bury bodies quickly. That's certainly understandable, but photographing or even at least counting, there's no accurate count going on. You talk to the drivers who are driving these dump trucks, they say they're not counting the bodies. I've been there when they dump them out. They don't count. The Haitian government says they have an actual death toll, a death count, but it's not clear who's actually doing the counting. And as for the Haitian government responding to this report, they actually are now literally hanging up on us when we call both the embassy in Washington and representatives here on the ground in Haiti. So I think there are a lot of Haitians who would like some answers as to why their loved ones and potentially American citizens are not at least being buried. I mean, it's not even being counted or their names taken or photographs taken, just being buried. They're literally dumped on the side of a road.
Anderson, thanks very much for that report. We're going to stay on top of what's happening in Haiti.